Act 1 of The Family of Love by Thomas Middleton, Thomas Dekker, and Lording Barry. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Prologue. If, for opinion hath not blazed his fame, nor expectation filled the general round, you deem his labours slight, you both confound your graver judgment and his merits. Impartial hearing fits judicious spirits, or let the fruit of many an hour fall by envy's tooth or base detraction's gall, both which are tokens of such abject spirits, which, wanting worth themselves, hate others' merits, or else of such, which once made great by fame, repine at those which seek ta'in the same. From both we know all truer judgments free. To them our muse, with blushing modesty, patiently to her entreats their favour, which done, with judgment's praise, or else dislike the labour. Act 1, Scene 1. A gallery in Glister's house. Enter Glister, Mistress Glister, and Maria.
Tricks and shows, protestations with men are like tears with women, forgot ere the cheek be dry. Gerardine is a gentleman, his lands be in statues, he is not for thee, nor thou for him. He is a gallant, and young thoughts be most unconstant.
Yet young vines yield most wine.
But old vines the best. Believe not these great breeched gallants, they love for profit, not for affection. If he brings thee to a fool's paradise, he will forsake thee.
Which fortune God send my enemy. Love is a cold heat, a bitter sweet, a pleasure full of pain, a huge loss and no gain. Why shouldst thou love him only?
Words cannot force what destiny hath sealed. Who can resist the influence of his stars, or give a reason why he loves or hates, since our affections are not ruled by will, but will by our affections? 'Tis blasphemy 'gainst love's most sacred deity, to ask why we do love, since 'tis his only power that sways all our affections, all things which be, beasts, birds, men, gods, pay him their fealty.
Tut! Love is an idle fantasy, bred by desire, nursed by delight, and humour that begins his dominion in Leo the lion, the sign of the heart, and ends in Aries the ram, the sign of the head. His power is to stir the blood, pricks up the flesh, fills all the body with a libidinous humour, and is indeed the overture of all ladies, which to prevent, I have banished Gerardine, your dearly beloved, in my house, and as for you, since I am your guardian by my brother's last will, I will sequester you from all other rooms in my house, save this gallery and your upper chamber, till in discretion I shall find it convenient to enlarge you.
My body you may circumscribe, confine, and keep in bounds, but my unlimited love extends itself beyond all circumscription.
Believe me, Maria, I have known the natures of divers of these gallants. If they possess the unlimited love of us women in never so ample manner, without the society of the body, I know how soon their love vadeth. Young man's love is like ivy. It must have somewhat to cleave to, or it never prospers. Love is like fasting days, but the body is like flesh days. And 'tis our English gallant's fashion to prefer a morsel of flesh before all the fasting days in the whole year.
Enter Vial.
The news with you, Vial.
And it like your worship, here's Club. Master Purge, the apothecary's prentice, come to invite you, my mistress, and Mistress Maria to supper, and to see Master Gerardine's will seal.
Tell Club my wife and myself will be there, but Maria shall not come.
Exit Vial.
There must be your sweetheart's parting feast. Now he perceives no access to my house, he will deceive. A good riddance. If he returns not, you forsooth are his heir. That's not much amiss, yet there may be tricks. I will not be overreached. Come to your chamber, where till my return you shall be in safe custody.
Exit with Mistress Glister.
O silly men, which seek to keep in awe, women's affections which can know no law.
Maria ascends. Scene 2. A street before Glister's house. Enter Gerardine, Lipsalve, and Gudgeon.
Now by the horns of Cupid's bow, which hath been the bane to many a tall citizen, I think there be no finer fools under heaven than we men when we are lovers. How thou goest crying up and down with thy arms across for a wife, which hadst thou, she'd cross both arms, head and heart. Dost not yet know the old saying, a wife brings but 2 good days, that is, her wedding day and death day.
Believe him, Geraldine, he speaks now gospel. A man may take more wife with one hand than he's able to put away with 10, Geraldine. A wife is such a cross that all married men would most gladly be rid of.
And yet such a cross that all bachelors would gladly be creeping to. Profane not thus the sacred name of love. You libertines, who never knew the joys nor precious thoughts of 2 consenting hearts.
Didst ever see the true picture of a lover? I can give thee the hieroglyphic, and this it is. A man standing naked, a wench tickling him on the left side with a feather and pricking him under the right side with a needle. The allegory, as I take it, is this, that at the first we are so overjoyed with obtaining a wife that we conceit no heaven like to the first night's lodging, and that's the signification of the left side, for wives always in the night take the left side lace. But, sir, now come to the needle on the right side. That's the daytime, wherein she commands. Then, sir, she has a certain thing called tongue, 10 times more sharp than a needle, and that at the least displeasure a man must have shot quite through him.
Gramercies, Lipsalve, my neat courtier, but, Sirrah Geraldine, be thyself sociable and free. Leave not thy native soil for a giglot, a wench who in her wit is proud,
In her smile deceitful,
in her hate revengeable,
and in nothing but her death acceptable. I'll tell thee there's no creature more desirous of an honest name and worse keeps it than a woman. Dost hear? Follow this song, and if ever thou forsake thy country for a wagtail, let me be whipped to death with ladies' hair laces.
Let's hear that worthy song, gentle master Lipsalve.
Observe. Now, if I list, will I love no more, no longer wait upon a gill, since every place now yields a wench, if one will not, another will. And if what I have heard be true, then young and old and all will do. How dost thou like this, man?
No more, no more. This is the chamber which confines my love. This is the abstract of the spacious world. Within it holds a gem so rich, so rare, that art or nature never yet could set a valued price to her unvalued worth.
Unvalued worth? Why, she's but a woman, and they are windy turning vanes. Love light as chaff, which, when our nourishing grains are winnowed from them, and constantly they fly at the least wind of passion. A woman's eye can turn itself with quick dexterity, and in each wanton glass can comprehend their sundry fancy suited to each friend. Tut, their loves are all compact of levity, even like themselves, nil muliere levius.
Tut, man, everyone knows their worth when they are at a rack rent. In the tram time they bear as great a price as wheat when transportations are.
Maria appears above at a window.
Peace. Let's draw near the window and listen if we may hear her.
Debarred of liberty, oh, that this flesh could like swift-moving thoughts transfer itself from place to place, unseen and undissolved. Then should no iron ribs or churlish flint divide my love and me. Dear Geraldine, despite of chance or guardian's tyranny, I'd move within thy orb and thou in mine.
She'd move within thy orb and thou in hers. Blood, she talks bawdy to herself. Gudgeon, stand close.
But in vain do I proclaim my grief, when air and walls can yield me no relief.
The walls are the more stony-hearted, then.
Peace, good Gudgeon, gape not so loud.
Come thou, my best companion, thou art sensible, and canst my wrongs reiterate. Thou and I will make some mirth in spite of tyranny. The black-browed night, drawn in her pitchy wane, in starry-spangled pride rides now o'er heaven. Now is the time when stealing minutes tell the stole delight joyed by all faithful lovers. Now loving souls contrive both place and means for wished pastimes. Only I am pent within the closure of this fatal wall, deprived of all my joys.
My dear Maria, be comforted in this. The frame of heaven shall sooner cease to move. Bright Phoebus' steeds leave their diurnal race, and all that is forsake the natural being, ere I forget thy love.
Who's that protests so fast?
Thy ever-vowed servant, Geraldine.
Oh, by your vows it seems you'd fain get up.
Aye, and ride too.
I would, most loved Maria.
I knew it. He that to get up to a fair woman will stick to vow and swear, may be accounted no man. But tell me, why hast thou chose this hour to visit me, which nor the day nor night can claim, but both, or neither? Why in this twilight camest thou?
To avoid suspicious eyes. I come, dear love, to take my last farewell, fitting this hour which no bright day will claim nor pitchy night, an hour fit to part conjoined souls. Since that my native soil will not afford my wished and best content, I will forsake it and prove more strange to it than it to me. In time's swift course, all things shall find event, be it good or ill, and destinies to grant that most preposterous courses often gain what labor and direct proceedings miss.
What, thou forsake me then?
Let first blessed life forsake me. Be thou constant, my absence may procure thy more enlarge, and then...
Desire's conceit is quick, I apprehend thee. Be thou as loyal as I constant prove, and time shall knit our mutual knot of love. Wear this, my love's true pledge.
Throws it down.
I need not wish. I know thou what return. Nor will I say thou mayest conceal thyself, being returned, till I may make escape and visit thee. I prithee, love, attempt not to ascend my chamber window by a laddered rope. The entrance is too narrow, except this post, which may with ease. Yet that is dangerous. I prithee, do it not. I hear some call, farewell. My constant love let after actions tell.
Exit above.
O perfection of women!
A plague of such perfection.
How she woos, by negatives shows.
Thee what to do under colour of dissuasion.
She's truly virtuous.
Tut, man. Outward appearance is no authentic instance of the inward desires. Women have sharp falcon's eyes and can soar aloft, but keep them like falcons from flesh, and they soon stoop to a gaudy lure.
Why, then Huguenot women are admirable angels.
But angels make them admirable devils.
My love's chaste smile to all the world doth speak of spotless innocence.
Women's smiles are more of custom than of courtesy. Women are creatures. Their hearts and they are full of holes, apt to receive but not retain affection. Thou wilt tomorrow, thou sayest, be gone. If thou wilt know the worst of a country's, marry before thou goest. For if thou canst endure a cursed wife, never care what company thou comest in.
Come, merry gallants, will you associate me to my cousin Purges the apothecaries, and take part of my parting feast tonight?
Oh, his wife is of the family of love. I'll thither. Perhaps I may prove of the fraternity in time. Will thither, that's flat.
Exeunt. Scene 3. A room in Purge's house. Enter Mistress Purge.
What club? Club? Is Club within there?
Enter Club.
Mistress?
I pray. What said Master Dr. Glister? Will he come?
I sent word I would, for I was but to carry a diet to one of his patients. What call you her? She that paints at daytimes, and looks fair and fresh on the outside, but in the night time is filthier than the inside of a bocadero, and is indeed far more unsavory to those that know her, forsooth.
Went he to her?
I had a receipt for the Grincombs in his hand, and I said I would take that in his way.
'Tis well. And what guest besides him and his wife will be here at supper?
The first in my account is Master Geraldine, your cousin, Master Dr. Glister and his wife, Master Dryfat the merchant, Master Lipsalve the courtier, Master Gungeon the gallant, and their pages. These, I take, will be your full number.
Then belike my room shall be stuffed with courtiers and gallants tonight. Of all men I love not these gallants. They'll prate much but do little. They are people most uncertain. They use great words but little sense, great beards but little wit, great breeches but no money.
That was the last thing they swore away.
Belike they cannot fetch it again with swearing, for if they could, there's not a page of theirs but would be as rich as a monarch.
There's nothing, mistress, that is sworn out of date that returns. Their first oath in times past was by the mass, and that they have sworn quite away. Then came they to their faith as, by my faith 'tis so. That in a short time was sworn away too, for no man believes now more than a sees. Then they swore by their honesties, and that, mistress, you know, is sworn quite away. After their honesties was gone, then they came to their gentility, and swore as they were gentlemen. And their gentility they swore away so fast that they had almost sworn away all the ancient gentry out of the land, which indeed are scarce missed, for that yeomen and fathers' sons, with the help of a few Welshmen, have undertook to supply their places. That at the last they came to silver, and their oath was, by the cross of this silver, and swore so fast upon that now they have scarce left them a cross for to swear by.
And what do they swear by now their money is gone?
Why, by blank, and God refused them.
And can they not as well say men refuse them, as God refused them?
No, mistress, for men, especially citizens and rich men, have refused their bonds and protestations already.
Enter Purge.
'Tis well. See how supper goes forward, and that my shoes be very well blacked against I go to the family.
Exit Club.
Now, sweet chick, where hast thou been? In troth, la, I am not well. I had thought to have spent the morning at the family, but now I am resolved to take pills, and therefore, I pray thee, desire Dr. Glister that he would minister to me in the morning.
Thy will is known, and this for answer's say. 'Tis fit that wise men should their wives obey. And now, sweet duck, know I have been for my cousin Gerardine's will, and have it. He has given thee a legacy, but the total is Maria's.
Enter Glister, Mistress Glister, and Dryfat.
Master Doctor, your wife and Master Dryfat are most welcome. Now, were my cousin Gerardine and Master Lipsalve here, our number were complete.
Is this frantic will done? Will Master Geraldine to see? Let me tell you, I am no whit sorry. Let such as will be headstrong bite on the bridle.
'Tis here, Master Doctor. All his worth is Maria's, and locked in a trunk, which by tomorrow's sun shall be delivered to your custody.
Methinks 'twere a reasonable match to bestow your niece on Master Geraldine. He is a most hopeful gentleman, and his revenue such that having your niece's portion to clear it of all encumbrances, 'twill maintain them both in a very worthy degree.
Tut, you are Master Dryfat the merchant. Your skill is greater in coney skins and woolpacks than in gentlemen. His lands be unstatutes. You merchants were wont to be merchant staplers, but now gentlemen have gotten up the trade, for there is not one gentleman amongst 20 but his land be engaged in 20 statute staple.
Enter Lipsalve, Gerardine, and Gudgeon.
Let every man his humour have, I do and none repine. I never regard whose wench I kiss, nor who doth the like by mine. The indifferent minds I hold still best, whatever does befall. For she that will do with me and thee will be a wench for all. And how goes the squares?
Your stay, gentlemen, does wrong to a great many good stomachs. Your suppers expect you.
And we are suppers.
And from what good exercise come you three?
From a play, where we saw most excellent Samson excel the whole world in gate-carrying.
Was it performed by the youths?
By youths? Why, I tell thee we saw Samson, and I hope 'tis not for youths to play Samson. Believe it, we saw Samson bear the town gates on his neck from the lower to the upper stage, with that life and admirable accord that it shall never be equalled unless the whole new livery of porters set their shoulders.
Fie, fie! 'Tis pity young gentlemen can bestow their time no better. This playing is not lawful, for I cannot find that either plays or players were allowed in the prime church of Thesis by the elders.
I think she tickled you there.
Cousin Geraldine, shall the will be read before supper?
Before supper, I beseech you.
Aye, aye, before supper.
Aside.
For when these women's bellies be full, their tongues will be soon at rest.
Well, Master Doctor, pity the state of a poor gentleman. It is in you to stay his journey, and make him and yourself happy in his choice.
Hold you content. Shall this will be read?
It shall. Read you, good Master Lipsalve.
Command silence, then.
Silence!
Lipsalve, reading the will.
In the name of God, Amen. Know all men by these presents that I, Geraldine, being strong of body and perfect in sense.
That's false. There's no lover in his perfect sense.
Peace, dry fact.
Do give and grant to Maria Glister, daughter of John Glister, and niece to Dr. Glister, physician, all my leases, lands, chattels, goods, and movables whatsoever. This is stark naught. You cannot give away your movables, for Mistress Doctor and Mistress Purge claim both shares in your movables by reason of their legacies.
That's true, for their legacies must go out of your movables.
I'll put it in. All my movables, these following legacies being paid.
Do so, good Master Lipsalve.
Lipsalve, after writing.
'Tis done.
I pray read only the legacies, for supper stays.
Well, the legacies.
Reads.
First I give to my cousin, Mistress Purge, a fair large standing... What's this? Oh, cup. A fair large standing cup with a close stool.
'Tis not so, 'tis not so.
I cry you mercy, a close cover 'tis.
Reads.
To Mistress Doctor I give a fair bodkin of gold with 2 orient pearls attending the same, all which are in my trunk to be delivered to the keeping of Maria, in witness, etc. Is this your will?
'Tis.
To it with your hand and seal.
Gerardine signs and seals the will.
How is it, Chick? I must have the standing cup, and Mistress Glister the bodkin.
Right, sweet duck.
I pray, gentlemen, put to your hands.
Come, your fists, gentlemen, your fists.
Gerardine, while the witnesses sign the will.
Mistress Glister, I found you always more flexible to understand the estate of a poor gentleman than your husband was willing. Therefore I have thought it a point of charity to reveal the wrongs you sustain by your husband's looseness. Let me tell you in private that the doctor cuckolds Purge oftener than he visits one of his patients. What he spares from you he spends lavishly on her. These apothecaries are a kind of panders. Look to it. If he keep Maria long close, it is for some lascivious end of his own.
She is his niece.
Tut, these doctors have tricks. Your niceness is such that you can endure no polluted shoes in your house. Take heed lest he make you a born before your time. Look to it.
Come, our hands are testimonies to thy follies. Shall's now to supper? We'll have a health go round to thy voyage.
Aye, and to all that forswear marriage and can be content with other men's wives.
Of which consort you two are grounds. One touches the bass, and the other tickles the minikin. But to our cheer,